Start.
Okay, today on Chuckadilly Adventures, we're going to mount a light bar on my 2007 Chevrolet 2500. I don't want to drill any, because it's all original. I don't want to drill any holes in the dash or put any holes in it. And I want it to, when I put the headlights on the high beams, I want the light bar to come on. Then when I turn the high beams off, the light bar is going to go off. And I'm going to put a switch under the hood, so if I decide I don't want to run with the light bar on, I can flip my switch. But I'm not putting no switches inside. It's going to run unless I manually flip the switch off under the hood. This keeps me from putting any wires into the truck, drilling any holes. Everything will be done outside. So what I've done so far is I've got the basic light bar, right? And we've already mounted it onto the front of the truck. Easy mount. Mount your light bar where you want it. This is where I wanted mine. So I put my light bar on here. Now, I'm through with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this relay. I've got a switch. I've got your basic 4-prong relay. You could get a 5 one, but I'm just going to use 4 prongs. But I got a basic relay, a toggle switch, some wire. I'm going to put a fuse between the relay and the battery, so if something goes wrong, it will pop the fuse, right? And I'm taking this piece of tin. I beat it down and got rid of all the sharp edges, but I'm gonna take this one little old piece of tin, follow me, and I'm gonna mount this piece of tin right here off the battery cover bar, and I'm gonna put my toggle switch and my relay on this piece of tin right here, so when I do decide I want my light bar off, I just flip the switch. But I'm going to tie in to the actuator wire off of my high beam bulb off right here, and that will start my relay. Okay, so getting started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill holes, and I'm going to mount my relay and stuff here and get my wires running. So hang with me and we'll be back in a minute. Alright, so we're back. What I've done is I took my toggle switch and I've mounted it to my piece of tin like this right here. I've got my relay right here. This right here is going to go to the battery. So I went ahead and hooked it up. I know it's the 87 pin. Shine down here on my schematic. I went ahead and got a schematic drawn out that shows where every wire goes, right? So let's just walk through it. I was going to use the fog light, and then I chose the high beam. So I'm going to take a tester light and find what actuates my high beam on my truck, and I'm going to tie into that wire. That wire will run through the switch right here, this on-off switch, and then into the relay on pin 86. Right? Pin 86 will trigger and tie together pin 87 and pin 30. Pin 30, which I have right here, goes to the battery. Pin 87 goes down to the light bar, which I have a positive and negative wire. Pin number 85, I am going to use a body ground, and I'm going to ground pin 85 off this relay, right? So this is what my schematic is going to look like. This is my switch panel, right? And I'm going to walk over here to the truck and show you where it's going to mount. I disconnected my battery pole protector. I'm going to slide this in here once I get it all wired up, where all I have to do is slide the wires together, and it's going to mount just like that. And I'll be able to go on, off when I want to shut off the light bar. But that's where I'm at right now. So just hang with me. Okay, we pulled the pin out, and we're going to move this light over. We pulled the light out. I have the high beam, right? I've hooked my tester light to a ground. I am going to turn my lights on, flip it to high. I got the high beams on, and I'm just doing this. I already know what I'm going to do. And I'm going to touch here, and that's my power wire. That says it's okay. Now I'm going to turn the high beams off. And touch it again, and it should have gone off. It did. So that's the wire I'm going to use. It's the green wire. I'm going to use it to actuate my light bar going through the solenoid. So we're getting close to home now. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hook me a wire up to this, and I'm gonna run it in here that I can hook to my solenoid, and then I'll show that when I get there. All right, we've got this thing pretty much wired up. We went by our wiring schematic. I showed you where the hot wire was, the green one, coming off the high beam. We checked it with a light. I tied into it, and all I did was shave the wire back, took my soldering iron, and I soldered it to that wire, and then taped it, right? You can clip it, bust it, whatever. I just didn't want to break the integrity of my wire going to my headlight. I run that as a switch. My green wire, it come to the switch, right? That's the one that goes right here to the headlight. This blue wire, I'm using light gauge wire just to work the switch, goes over here to the pin that was marked on the schematic, number 86 for the switch. All right, we tied in 30 and 87. 87 comes up from the light, ties into the solenoid. The other one goes through the fuse right here. 30 on pin goes through the fuse, through here, and ties into my battery right here. Right, I chose to ground this. You've got a ground, which is right here. I use ground wire, and I run it over here, and there's already a hole right here in the battery cover that goes over the battery, the support bar, and when that's a good solid ground. So we grounded there, right? I've got my switch right here. We're gonna mount this all right here in a minute, and that'll finish us up. But I want to show you how this works. So if my assistant will get down, jump down. We are gonna do the high beam, low beam challenge. So let's see if it's gonna work. I'm gonna turn the lights on, and it's not on, right? When I flip the high beam, wow, it came on. I turn the high beams off, it goes out, right? If I don't want to run with the bar, I'm gonna be able to flip my switch. And I turn the high beams on, and I got nothing. So, I've accomplished what I wanted to do. All my wiring is from that light bar to right here. Nothing went in the cab. We didn't have to drill any holes. Now all I'm gonna do is mount this right here with the support bundle, this right here, and I'm gonna zip tie these wires up real nice and neat, and it'll be a finished job. Thank y'all very much for watching one of Chuckadilly's adventures, showing you how to fix a light bar so we can go do some nighttime driving.